Previously,
My mother never returned home from a case in StrangerVille, and now I have a case there too. Here we are, in StrangerVille. I was feeling all kinds of ways about this. Mainly, I was hoping that I could find out what happened to my mother so many years ago. Then, I could finally put that mystery to rest. Hopefully, I could solve this baby Ariel case and go back to my life with some real connections to the SIB. Talking about the SIB, Sean and Cam were here with me, but they haven't exactly disclosed why they're here, other than the fact that I asked them to come. I mean, they did tell me about the possessions, my mom's case, and whatnot, so I kind of have an idea. I know that their case with the military is top secret and everything. Nonetheless, I was hoping that they would tell me a little bit more about it, especially since we're here now and my case might actually be related to theirs. Maybe we could help each other out.
Wait, sure, isn't that baby Ariel?
Yeah, that's her. When was this?
Last night at Studio PvP.
Are you kidding me? I tried to phone Jackie, but to no avail. Did baby Ariel just leave StrangerVille? Was she even here at all? What else was a lie? I decided to use my time here for something better. Since I did already pay for the rental house, I was going to dedicate this trip to find out what happened with my mom. With that being said, we head out to the center of town, which was just outside our door. The town is quite small. It makes sense though. It is a military town for the StrangerVille National Base. We visited the library first. There were a few people hanging around inside. They were using the 2 computers and the chess table. Boy, this library was small. The librarian told me that the local bar is known to have military personnel winding down after a long day on the base. There was a scientist who told me that they didn't know much about StrangerVille. Up until recently, they were spending most of their time at the secret lab in the crater. A conspiracy theorist told me to check out the secret lab and that there are strange things going on there. We should be able to sneak in through the back gate, they said. It was odd. There were a number of scientists who were actively researching something. There was this weird tension in the library as I searched through the StrangerVille archives. I wanted to know what they were reading, so I also started to explore the archives. That was when I found a suspiciously blurry photo. It just fell out of the book I was reading. There was a letter to the editor that I found pretty disturbing as well. It read, "They say they're here to help us, but there is barbed wire around the crater now. What are they trying to hide? Doesn't anyone see what's going on here? Wake up, sequel." Also, a quick shout out to the Curo's shop near the old mobile home park. They have some great shirts and posters for those of us in the know. There was a story about a lost cat who was found near the crater. Since then, the cat has been afraid of and will hiss at houseplants. That's a little strange. Apparently, stories passed down by the indigenous people who lived in the region long ago speak of a blinding purple light in the sky, followed by a massive explosion. It is believed that this is the source of the StrangerVille crater. A newspaper clipping stated that when the military arrived in StrangerVille, the residents rejoiced as the new base opens near the crater. The city council welcomed the opportunity of new jobs for the struggling town. In addition, I learned a bit about the town's mayor, Ted Roswell. The Roswells are the oldest residents in StrangerVille. In recent years, Ted has been aggressively pushing to get StrangerVille to be more technologically advanced. Clearly, he's made some shady deals, but his crowning achievement has been the construction of the crater base and the secret lab. He's evil, hot-headed, and paranoid. I don't think that's a good mix for a mayor, if I do say so myself. And with that being said, it's time to head on down to the Curo shop. It was a unique little shop, that's for sure. You could purchase a tinfoil hat, except it was just a pasta strainer with lights attached to it. So, not really a tinfoil hat. There were t-shirts to buy and other things like that. They wouldn't even let me look at the other things though. The secret inventory is only available to people who have examined the lab door at the secret lab first. We walked across the street to the bar. There were a lot of military personnel here. We talked to a few of them. All of them said the same thing, how people should stay away from the crater and the secret lab and not listen to those rumors about the explosion there. Then, I noticed a lady at the bar. Was she sitting there this whole time? Or did she just arrive? Clearly it was that woman who helped me at the Von Haunt estate and at the Dead Grass Isle Museum. I approached her. I wasn't expecting to see you in Stranger... Oh, that wasn't the helpful lady. That was my mom. Mom. It actually was her. We hugged for a very long time. I was expecting to find out what happened to my mom, but I wasn't expecting to actually find her alive. Wait, she's alive. Why would she stay here? Why wouldn't she come home? To us, to her family? Well, I have a lot to ask you about.
I have a lot of answers.
Alright, I don't want to interrupt this reunion, but we really have to get going. Do we want to stay here at the bar and interview people, or do we want to head to the secret lab?
You're going to a secret lab?
Yep.
Let's go there and I'll explain everything.
On our way there, my mom explained that she came here for a case Jackie and her were supposed to work on together. Jackie had refused to come. It was obvious that there's some tension in their work relationship, but also in their friendship. Jackie would bail on their nights out together, and clearly didn't like working cases with her anymore. A big promotion was coming up, so my mom believed that this apprehension was due to that. Anyways, my mom was supposed to find out what was happening at the secret lab. Well, she did exactly that. She talked to Sims about StrangerVille, examined the door of the secret lab, collected evidence from the lab, gathered 15 pieces of evidence around StrangerVille, compiled a secret dossier, and gave the dossier to the curio shop owner. But she could have given it to a scientist or military personnel as well. Then she opened that lab door. Gathering information was the easy part, she said. She researched the StrangerVille archives at the library, befriended scientists and military personnel, and planted bugs on them. When that lab door opened, the bloom had begun. The town seemed to get progressively worse. She was able to convince a military personnel to give her an infection scanner. She gathered spore clusters at the secret lab, constructed an infection profile data, obtained a spore filter from a scientist, questioned the curio shop owner about the spores, purchased a hazmat suit from them, assembled said hazmat suit, and opened the second and third doors of the lab. It was at this point that she realized something wasn't right. There were large chunks of time she couldn't remember. Vines were coming in through her toilet, her sinks, and bathtub. Her fridge went missing, and there was a note that said it was confiscated by your friendly neighborhood secret agents due to traces of infection on it. People were following her. Her neighbors were acting weird. She wanted to fix the town. She felt like she could solve it and find a vaccine or create one. However, she never seemed to get anywhere, and months turned into years with no leads. At night, she would become possessed, and during the day, she was deeply depressed. She refused to leave StrangerVille in fear that she would infect her family back home. She did manage to visit the cottage in the fall time every year without interacting with anyone. She would watch us continue our family's tradition from afar. Through the bugs that she planted on several highly ranked officers, she learned about Jackie's current plans. Jackie wanted to get rid of
all of these pesky freelance detectives.
Over time, those plans changed, and Jackie actually hired a hitman. My mom knew she had to warn me about it. That's why she was leaving me obscure phone calls warning me of different attempts on my life, like the ghost scaring me, the pool ladder, and the fireplace incident. This wasn't the time nor the place to grieve the loss of my mother through my formative years, to feel sad about everything I just heard, because we just arrived at the secret lab. We knew that there was something lurking in the basement of the lab, that spores could infect you, and that a vaccine would be needed. We just need to figure out how to create a vaccine and to defeat whatever it is in the basement of the lab.